Alright folks, welcome to Saunakangas, the base for the famous detachment Sau, the partisan hunters of the northeastern Finland. To Saunakangas, we are in the county Savukoski here in northeastern Finland, and this place is famous for its special detachment Sau. That detachment during the Continuation War was specialized in partisan hunting. They hunted the Russian partisans who operated, or their partisan units that operated in this area, and attacked mainly civilian villages, slaughtering women and children in this area. And one of the commanding officers of Detachment Sau was Olavi Alakulpi. He was a Mannerheim Cross Knight and a champion skier. Actually, he won the World Championships in cross country in Sagoban 1939. He had to move out from Finland after the war because he was involved in the so-called arms cache operation, and he went over to the US and became a colonel there. And from this area they operated in most parts of the northeastern Finland. So it's possible to camp here. We have a nice riverside here. Let's see how it looks. So the men of detachment, they probably had they definitely had a sauna here. And look at the river here. What a beautiful stream here. You can do a lot of fishing and hunting, and such a lovely place for the detachment Sau. Look at that, there is even a swan. Let's see if we can go closer. Okay folks, let's visit the sauna building. This is the actual unit sauna. It was transferred from its original place to this place very close by, but it's the very same sauna. As said, it's 1200 kilometers all the way to the Gulf of Finland from this Savukoski, the northernmost point of this fortification line. You can see these kind of stone barriers can stop a Russian T-35, T-34 I see, tank. And here you can see there is even a kind of a sign telling about the restoration work which started year 2000, 25 years ago. And you see Alright folks, let's have a quick look how the life in 1943 looked in these very remote wilderness bases. So these guys, I don't know exactly the place where they are, but the terrain looks pretty much the same where the detachment Sau used to operate. So it could be eastern Karelia or a bit further up north to the Lappish areas. You can see these fells there already in some points, and the rivers look very familiar. But as you can see, providing their own food with different methods of hunting and fishing was just very
kind of normal thing for these guys. They were, most of the guys who worked in these kind of detachments, they were wilderness guys. They knew how to hunt and fish, and they know or knew how to orientate in this very demanding terrains where the maps were definitely not very accurate. So the audio is in Finnish, but I think the film itself tells more than the actual voice of the guy who's telling what's happening.
Ja yksinäisten parivartijoiden etäisillä vartiopaikoilla pitävät tekniikka ja radiopuhelin hänet yhteydessä kaukaisiin tovereihinsa.
Especially here it looks very typical Lappish sceneries. Quite a fell here. You can see the whole surrounding area, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's somewhere quite north, to be honest.
Kohtaavat silmää samat mittaamattomat erämaat, samat näköalat, jotka mykistävät katsoja.
I think this is very interesting. I haven't seen video footage or films from that time period before where they've actually used kayaks. And I don't know exactly how common it was, but as you know, Finland is a land of thousands of lakes and rivers, and we probably in the parts now where they use the kayaks that are not unfortunately anymore parts of Republic of Finland, you can call them ceded territories or occupied territories, but I think after the peace treaty between Soviet Union and Finland, Finland had to give over 10% of its land mass, mainly obviously in the eastern parts in Karelia and also the northern parts and some other islands, to the aggressor. So this could be somewhere which is not part of Finland anymore, but it is quite unique to see them using kayaks and even kind of a side engine in one of the kayaks here. So I find this very interesting.
Vesireittienkin varsilla on siellä täällä tarkasti määrätyillä paikoillaan kenttävartijoiden asettamia parivartijoita suorittamassa omaa tärkeää ja raskasta tehtäväänsä. Asutaan teltoissa ja vaihdetaan vartiota kellon täsmällisyydellä. Kuukausien korpielämä on lyönyt oman leimansa näiden sotureiden olemukseen. He ovat erämiehiä sanan täydessä ja parhaassa merkityksessä. Kanooteilla matkaava partio on saanut työnsä päätökseen. Kumiset kanootit on purettu, pakattu säkkeihin ja moottoriveneet kiidättävät partiota jälleen takaisin, minne metsänreunan taakse laskeutuva ilta-aurinko viittoo kenttävartion sotureiden tietä.
All right, now it's time to visit and pay our respect to the victims of the partisan attacks. Almost 200 civilians lost their lives in these horrendous attacks that happened in these eastern remote wilderness villages.
This is the memorial for the Seitajärvi partisan attack victims. Early July 1944, this remote wilderness village was attacked by the Russian partisan unit, and 16 people lost their lives. After the attack, Finnish detachment Sau went after the partisans, who started moving towards the Russian border, Soviet-Russian border, and they managed to catch the unit somewhere around Kemi River, and after the fight 33 of the Russian partisans lost their lives there, and the rest of the unit, which was around 100 men, managed to escape to the Soviet side. Kłosko village was one of those remote wilderness villages at the time that sacrificed a lot, and here are some of the offers that this village and the area had to give. There are young and old, men and women, soldiers and civilians. Alright folks, now we are in Lokka, remote wilderness village, and this is the memorial for the people that perished during that day, 14th of July 1944. 21 people lost their lives in this village, and this is to commemorate their sacrifice. The Luiro River is just behind those bushes there, behind that old building, and that's where the Russian partisans entered the village and started their deadly deeds. Many of the victims that perished in Seitajärvi partisan attack are buried here in Savukoski Cemetery. Many come from the same families, and as you can see, there are just quite a few that are just children, like little Valma, just about 5 years old. Teenagers.